Why is your phone always face down lately? I asked, trying to sound casual as I passed him the soy sauce. Alex didn't look up from his sushi. Habit, I guess. What's with the interrogation? Not interrogation, just noticed. He gave a tight smile, then went back to scrolling through the TV. That was new, too. He never used to scroll while we ate. We used to talk. I stared at his hands. He wasn't wearing his wedding ring. Again, you forgot your ring, I said, eyes fixed on his left hand. He looked down like it surprised him. Oh, must have taken it off at the gym. Forgot to put it back on. You've been forgetting a lot lately, I murmured. He raised an eyebrow. What's that supposed to mean? I shook my head and stood up to collect the plates. Nothing. I'm just tired. I was tired of making excuses for the quiet, tired of pretending not to notice how our laughter had thinned out like smoke. That night in bed, he turned his back to me like he had for the past few weeks. No goodnight kiss. No, I love you. You didn't. Say it, I whispered into the dark. You didn't say you love me? He sighed. I do. Just tired. You always are. He didn't respond. I stared at the ceiling, counting the beats of his breath. Once I used to find comfort in them. Now they just reminded me how far away he felt, even lying inches from me. The next morning, Maya called as I was brushing my hair. You sound like hell, she said bluntly. Thanks. Good morning to you too. What's going on? I hesitated. Do you think Alex would ever cheat on me? There was a pause. What? Why would you ask that? I don't know. He's different, distant. He hides his phone now, comes home late, doesn't talk. Have you asked him? Not directly. Then ask. It's not that simple, Maya. What if it's nothing? What if it's all in my head? And what if it's not? I didn't answer. I stared at my reflection. My lipstick was too bright. I wiped it off. That evening, as I was doing laundry, I found one of his dress shirts balled up in the bottom of the hamper. I held it up, inspecting the collar. That's when I saw it, a faint smudge, reddish pink. I touched it with trembling fingers. It wasn't my shade. I wore coral. This was mauve. Alex, I called, voice catching. He came into the room, towel around his shoulders. Yeah? What's this? I held up the shirt, finger on the stain. He squinted. Lipstick? Maybe it's yours? It's not. I don't wear that color. He shrugged. Then maybe someone at work bumped into me. I don't know, Sarah. Do you really think I'd cheat on you and leave the evidence on my collar like some idiot? I stared at him. That tone, the mix of defensiveness and dismissal, was new. I don't know what to think anymore. Well, think better, he snapped and walked out. Later, I sat on the edge of the bed, holding the shirt in my lap. My mind kept circling the same thought. Was I being paranoid, or was this the beginning of something worse? The knot in my stomach tightened. I remembered when he used to sing in the kitchen, badly, off-key. When we used to dance barefoot at midnight, after wine and too much pasta. Now he barely looked me in the eye. I folded the shirt slowly. If I was wrong, I'd apologize, but if I was right, God help him. Another late meeting? I asked, folding my arms as he loosened his tie. Alex nodded, without looking at me. Client dinner ran long. You know how it is. What client? He blinked. What? Which client? He smiled faintly. Benson and West. We're finalizing the new pitch. You had Benson last week. His jaw tensed for a fraction of a second. Well, they're needy. Comes with the territory. I stepped closer and sniffed lightly. New cologne? Same one I've always used. He grabbed his bag. You okay? I shrugged. Just wondering when you started showering before going to the gym. He paused. I was sweaty from the walk home. Figured I'd rinse off. You didn't walk. You drove. His eyes met mine. Why are you interrogating me lately? Because you're lying. Wow, he said, chuckling bitterly. You really think that low of me? I think I know what patterns look like, Alex. He didn't respond, just walked to the bedroom and shut the door. Maya stirred her coffee too aggressively. You're shrinking. Excuse me. You're not. You. You're jumpy, bitter, quiet. I looked out the cafe window. You wouldn't understand. Try me. I took a breath. He's hiding something. She set the spoon down. You sure? Or are you projecting fear onto every moment? You think I'm paranoid? I think you're scared, and maybe you have reason, but have you asked him directly? Yes. He dodges everything. Have you checked his phone? I hesitated. No. Why not? Because if I do, I'll never be able to unsee it. That night I watched him sleep. Peaceful, innocent looking. It made me sick. I picked up his phone from the nightstand. Still locked. Face ID, I muttered under my breath. I held the phone to his face. It buzzed open. No guilt, just panic. Nothing in messages, nothing in photos. He was clean. Too clean. I checked, recently deleted, empty. I tossed the phone back and lay down, staring at the ceiling. A week passed. I didn't ask questions anymore. I smiled when I had to. I cooked his favorites. I played wife. Then it happened. He walked in smelling like vanilla. Not cologne, not deodorant. Body spray. Female body spray. I froze. Did you switch scents again? He sniffed his arm like it was the first time he noticed. Weird. Maybe someone at the gym? Someone sprayed you? Locker room's tight, he said too fast. Probably brushed against someone. Brushed against someone? He shot me a look. What's your problem, Sarah? You smell like another woman. He dropped his bag. So now we're doing this? I'm not imagining it. I never said you were, but you sure are acting crazy. Crazy. That word hit me like a slap. I didn't say another word. He headed to the shower. I waited. As soon as I heard the water running, I sprinted for his phone, unlocked again. He must have been too tired to reset the password. Messages, still clean. But WhatsApp? New. I opened it. Camilla, missed you today. That smile always gets me. Can't stop thinking about last night. My hands shook. I scrolled further. A picture. Her. Mirror selfie. Lacy bra. My chest tightened. The water stopped. I threw the phone back, leapt into bed, and pulled the covers over my head. He walked in minutes later, towel wrapped around his waist. Lights off already. Headache, I mumbled. He leaned in to kiss me. I turned away. He paused. You okay? Just tired. He climbed in beside me and turned away, just like every night. But now I knew. It wasn't in my head. It was on his phone. Her smile. Her body. Her words. Her scent. Vanilla. Camilla. Her name popped up with a heart emoji next to it. My thumb hovered, trembling before I tapped. God, you look beautiful today. Same time tomorrow? I felt my throat close up. Another message. Still thinking about the way you left. I can't stop smiling. Then a selfie. Her, in a sundress, sitting in my favorite cafe. Our anniversary cafe. The table by the window. Our table. I dropped the phone. My pulse thudded in my ears. No, no. This can't be real. I picked it back, up, opened the image again. That smile. Flawless, effortless. The kind of smile I hadn't seen on Alex's face in months. She was younger, or maybe she just looked lighter. I scrolled. Dozens of texts. Can't wait to see you again. You always make my day better. You're my escape. Escape from what? From me? I stood up, knees weak. My stomach lurched. I stumbled into the bathroom and dropped to the floor, dry heaving into the sink. Nothing came out but a guttural, sobbed a knock. Sarah? You okay? I flushed the faucet. Stomach. I don't know. Maybe something I ate. You want tea? No, just need to lie down. My voice cracked, but he didn't press. I shut the door and sat on the floor, clutching my chest. Camilla, 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 I whispered her name like a curse. I stared at myself in the mirror, pale, puffy eyes, split ends, t-shirt stained from dinner. I used to try, now I just existed. Where did you go? I whispered to my reflection. There was a time I was spontaneous, sexy, fun. I wore red lipstick. I planned surprise dates. I danced barefoot, in the kitchen. Now I wore oversized sweatshirts and cried alone on tile floors, and he chose her. That night, I crawled into bed before him. He came in minutes later, phone in hand, smiling at the screen. I closed my eyes and slowed my breath. Tap, tap, tap. The soft sound of his fingers typing under the blanket. My heart pounded. I shifted slightly. He froze. You awake? No, I whispered. He paused. Okay, sleep tight. He resumed typing. You're addictive. Can't wait to taste those lips again. I didn't cry. I listened, burned every word into my skull, every vowel, every sigh he gave her that used to be mine. When he finally put the phone down, he turned to me, draped an arm over my waist, like nothing was broken. I let him, but my eyes were wide open in the dark. Tomorrow I'd start my plan. He had no idea, Camilla had no idea, but I was done playing stupid. Let them smile now, because I wasn't going down quietly. Meeting at 9, right? I asked, tying his tie. He nodded. Yeah, big one. Should wrap by noon. I smiled. I packed your lunch. You're the best, he said, kissing my forehead like he always did. Don't forget it's trash day. All ready. Rolled the bins out, he said, slinging his bag over his shoulder. I sprayed the sheets this morning. Lavender. Thought it'd help you sleep better tonight. He smirked. You always think of everything. I stepped back as he reached the door. Hey, I called. Yeah? You still like this perfume? I tilted my neck slightly, letting the scent drift. He walked closer, sniffed, then nodded. Of course. That's the one I bought you, right? First anniversary. Still smells amazing, he said, then disappeared down the hallway. I called my office 2 minutes later. Food poisoning, I lied. By 8:30, I was in the car, heart hammering in my throat. His taillights were 2 blocks ahead. I kept my distance. He's going downtown, I whispered to myself. Client meeting, maybe. At the 3rd light, he turned. Not toward the office, not even close. My palms started to sweat. He pulled into a residential street I didn't recognize. Parked outside a beige apartment building with peeling numbers. My foot hovered on the brake as I rolled past, heart pounding. I circled the block. Parked. Waited. 10 minutes. 15. Then the door opened. She stepped out in leggings and a cropped hoodie, hair in a bun, coffee in her hand. Smiling. Camilla Mai. Mouth went dry. She looked ordinary. Pretty but not remarkable. Familiar, though, like comfort food. And then Alex stepped out of the building behind her, coffee of his own, laughing at something she said. She kissed him. Not quick, not shy, like she'd done it 100 times, like he belonged there. I ducked, shame crawling over, my skin like ants. They stood there a while. No rush, no panic, just being. He didn't check his phone, didn't look over his shoulder. He wasn't hiding. That's what broke me. Not the kiss, not the betrayal. It was the ease, the lightness in his face I hadn't seen in months. He looked alive, and I looked like a fool. My fists clenched around the steering wheel as I whispered to no one, "He doesn't even miss me." I watched until they disappeared inside, then sat there frozen. "He doesn't miss me," I repeated, and suddenly something inside me shifted. The grief cracked open, and all that poured out was rage. He walked in humming. "Good day?" I asked, barely hiding the shake in my voice. He tossed his keys in the bowl. Productive. Finally nailed that pitch. I'm starving. What's for... Don't. He stopped mid-step. What? Don't pretend. Not tonight. He blinked, confused. What are you talking about? Camilla, I said, folding my arms. I know. His expression didn't even twitch. Know what? You kissed her. This morning. Beige apartment, hoodie, coffee. You kissed her like I don't exist. He rubbed his forehead. Jesus, Sarah. Don't lie. I was there. I saw everything. Silence. Heavy. Disgusting. All right, he said finally. So now what? That's it? No denial? What's the point? You clearly made up your mind. I didn't have to. You did. He sighed and moved past me toward the kitchen. Look, it wasn't some big plan. It just happened. I followed him. It just happened? He poured water like we were discussing traffic. You've been distant. You're blaming me? I'm saying it didn't come from nowhere. Say it. You're blaming me for your affair. I'm saying you've changed. You're always anxious, always watching, always bringing up kids. You don't laugh anymore. You don't even touch me. I don't laugh because you lie. I don't touch you because you're already touching. Her. He slammed the glass on the counter. I didn't plan for Camilla. Oh, so that makes it better? She listens. She sees me. She doesn't make me feel like I'm constantly failing. Do you even hear yourself? She makes me feel like a man again. I stepped closer, shaking. And I made you feel like a husband, a partner, until you threw it away. We were drifting, Sarah. Drifting. Or were you just too weak to fix what you broke? You want honesty? He snapped. Fine. I feel alive with her. I feel free. I laughed. Bitter. Free from what? Me. This house. The marriage you swore you wanted? I don't know, he shouted. I just know I don't feel trapped when I'm with her. Trapped? My hand moved before my brain could stop it. The slap cracked the silence between us. He staggered back, eyes wide. Did you just... Yeah, I did. He touched his cheek but didn't step forward. You don't get to hit me. You don't get to destroy me. We stared at each other, breathless. Was any of it real? I asked. He didn't answer. That was my answer. You've already chosen, haven't you? He opened his mouth, closed it. I just want peace, he said softly. Then pack a bag. You're kicking me out? I'm asking you to leave before I throw every damn thing. You own out the window. He nodded slowly. All right. I turned away as he walked toward the bedroom. My hands were still shaking. I didn't cry. Not this time. I burned. You're still with him? Maya's voice cracked through the speaker like a slap. I'm not with him, I said, stirring the sauce. I'm just... here. You're making him dinner. I'm making a strategy. You sound insane. I sound calculated, I muttered, tasting the spoon. Salt's off. What exactly are you doing, Sarah? I'm documenting everything. Every lie. Every time he says he's going to the gym but smells like her body spray. You're still sleeping in the same bed. Technically, yes. Spiritually, I left weeks ago. So what's the endgame? He needs to feel it. Maya exhaled. You're planning revenge. I'm planning justice. That night I smiled as he complimented the pasta. I poured his wine, laughed at the right times, even let him touch my back as he passed behind me. He thought I was healing. He thought I was coming back. He had no idea I was collecting evidence like pearls on a string, one by one, building the necklace I'd use to choke him with. I need therapy, I told the receptionist flatly. Any specific reason? Marriage, I said, and the war happening inside my head. My therapist asked, why are you still there? Because walking away doesn't hurt him. Watching me smile while knowing I know, that might. She tilted her head. What about your healing? I'll get there, but not yet. I invited Camilla to the charity event. She replied within 10 minutes. Would love to attend. Thank you for thinking of me. She didn't recognize my name. Perfect. The night of the event, I wore black silk. Classy, clean, cut throat. You look stunning, Alex whispered as we entered. Thanks, I replied. I feel like myself tonight. I spotted her across the room, sipping champagne, laughing with some junior execs. She wore a pale blue dress with a slit I recognized instantly, because it used to be mine. I approached her with a smile. Camilla, right? She turned, pleasantly surprised. Yes. Have we met? Not yet. I'm Sarah. I extended my hand. That dress looks beautiful on you. Thank you, she said, beaming. I actually got it from a boutique sale. Total steal. I nodded. Slowly. I remember donating it. Her face faltered, just a flicker. She didn't know why, but something landed. Well, she said, awkward now. It's a great dress. It is, I said, tilting my head. It fits you well. Alex joined us seconds later. His face, when he saw us standing together, priceless. Sarah, he said slowly, didn't know you two had met. We just did, I said sweetly, looping my arm through his. Small world, isn't it? Camilla looked between us, clearly uneasy. I should check on someone, she muttered and slipped away. Alex hissed under his breath, What are you doing? Networking, I replied, sipping my wine. Isn't that what events like this are for? He stared at me like I was a stranger. That's because I was. At least now, he knew it too. Are you sure about this? Maya whispered as I adjusted the candles. Dead sure. You invited her? She thinks she's just a +1 for his colleague invite. She has no idea who I am. And you're hosting this like normal, I smiled. What's more, normal than dinner with friends and betrayal? The doorbell rang. Breathe, Maya muttered. I'm fine. Alex opened the door, his voice overly cheerful. Come in! Come in! His parents walked in first, tight smiles, a wine bottle in hand, then my brother, Jamie, with his girlfriend. He winked at me. Trying to prove you can still cook? Trying to prove I'm still alive, I replied. Laughter. Small talk. Clinking glasses. Then she entered. Sorry I'm late, Camilla said brightly. Traffic was insane. She walked over and handed me a candle set. I love these, I said, accepting them. Weird, I almost bought the same ones last week. She smiled, clueless. Great minds. Indeed, Alex coughed behind me. Everyone, this is Camilla. She's from the office. Oh, the Camilla, Maya said, voice sharp as glass. We've heard so much. I shot her a glance. Later. Dinner flowed. Pasta, wine, forced laughter. Camilla sat beside Alex, legs brushing. He didn't flinch. Neither. Did I wait until dessert? I stood. Can I say something? I asked, clinking my spoon on the glass. Everyone turned. Alex looked puzzled. Sarah, no, really, just a quick toast. To truth. His fork stopped mid-air. To secrets no longer hiding under napkins, I continued. To lovers not lurking in inboxes. To receipts not deleted fast enough. To perfume on collars. And body spray in car seats. His mother's hand covered her mouth. To Camilla, I said, raising my glass, who looks stunning in a dress. I donated last year. Camilla blinked. What? You heard me. She looked at Alex, panic creeping in. What is she talking about? Sarah. Alex stood, face flushed. Enough. No, Maya said, standing too. Let her finish. I have texts, I said calmly. Photos, hotel bills, a playlist you two shared, so cliché. Camilla's voice cracked. You told me you were separated. Alex's head dropped. You said it was over, she whispered. You lied. I didn't mean. Don't, I cut in. Don't reach for me. Don't try to twist it. He stepped toward me. Sarah, let's talk. I backed up. I gave you a chance to fight. You walked. Don't do this. Here. I didn't do anything. You did. I just put it on display. Maya clapped once. Well, I've waited for that moment for weeks. His father stood. Alex, is this true? Alex didn't answer. Camilla turned and rushed for her purse. I'm so sorry, she muttered to no one and everyone. I didn't watch her leave. That night, Alex tried to open the bedroom door. Where do you want me to sleep? He asked quietly. Hotel, he hesitated. Sarah, I changed the sheets. Don't lock me out of my own house. I'll be changing the locks tomorrow. 2. You're serious. I was serious the moment I stood up with the glass. He grabbed his keys off the hook. I never meant for it to go this far. You let it go this far. He left. I turned the bolt, and for the first time in a long time, I felt full. You sleep at all? Maya asked, nudging the coffee toward me. A little. By little. You mean 3 hours, tops? I wrapped my fingers around the mug. But it was quiet. Too quiet? Strangely, not really, peaceful, like the air isn't holding its breath anymore. She glanced at the pile of pillows on the floor. You gonna throw those out too? Already did the sheets. Next is the mattress. That's a little dramatic. Everything that touched him feels infected. Maya didn't argue. I stood in the bedroom doorway that afternoon, arms folded. The closet was half empty. His side, it looked cleaner, like a wound that had finally been drained. You okay? Maya called from the kitchen. No, but I'm not collapsing either. My therapist leaned back in her chair. What do you feel when you're alone now? Like, I'm finally in my own skin. And the grief? It's not gone, but it doesn't own me. She nodded. What's changed? I'm not trying to fix anything anymore. I'm just breathing. You're writing again? Maya asked, peeking at my laptop. Just some journal stuff. And a blog post. About him? About me. I looked up. I forgot how much I loved this. You were always the writer. Even when you stopped believing it. I smiled. He never read a single thing I wrote. His loss. The apartment echoed now. Every room had a sound. The drip in the bathroom. The creak in the hallway. The hum of the fridge. But no footsteps I dreaded. No fake phone calls. No perfume that wasn't mine. I changed the photos, took down the wedding ones, framed a picture of me and Maya at the beach instead, kept one shot of us, me and him, tucked in a drawer, just to remember what lying eyes look like. You're sleeping more, Maya noticed one morning. Yeah, you're smiling more. Don't get used to it. She grinned. Too late. Still, some nights I reached for his side of the bed. Habit, I guess. And when I felt the coldness of the sheets, I'd whisper, right, he's not here. Sometimes I cried, sometimes I didn't. This healing thing, I told my therapist, it's not straight. No, it's not. I thought I'd feel free, whole. You will, but first you have to feel empty. I already did. No, she said gently. Now you're choosing what to fill yourself with. I bought myself new sheets, bright ones. I opened the windows more. I played music louder than I used to. Sometimes I danced just because I could. And when Maya left for the weekend, I stood in the middle of the living room and whispered, You don't live here anymore. It felt good, like armor, like truth. Maya held up the envelope. You want this, or should I throw it straight in the trash? Who's it from? Who do you think? I stared at the handwriting, slanted, familiar. Put it on the counter. You sure? I just want to look at it. It took me 3 days to open it. I unfolded the letter slowly, like it might explode. Sarah, I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from. I don't blame you, but I need to say this. I rolled my eyes, always needing, never giving. I messed up. Badly. Camilla left. Said I wasn't honest with her either. I didn't know how broken I was until it all came crashing down. You didn't deserve what I did. Keep going, I muttered, scanning the page. I've started therapy. I'm trying to understand why I ruined the one good thing I had. Of course. Now he finds enlightenment. Maybe we can talk. Just talk. I miss you. I miss our home. Maybe we can fix this. I laughed, out loud, bitter and hard. Maya poked her head around the corner. What's so funny? He wants to fix it, she snorted. What's he offering? A patch kit and a prayer? He misses our home, I said, holding up the letter like it had weight. Not me, the idea of me. You gonna write back? I didn't answer. That night, I stood in the kitchen with the letter in my hands. The stove light was the only thing on. I stared at the words one last time. Then I struck a match. The flames curled the paper fast. Ash dropped into the sink. I didn't look away until it was gone. You okay? Maya asked the next morning. I didn't check his Instagram today. That's something. Didn't even think to. She smiled. You're getting better. I didn't realize how loud he'd been in my head. And now? I'm finally listening to myself. At therapy, I told Dr. Ellis he thinks closure comes from conversations. Does it? No. Closure came from silence, from burning that letter, from not needing to hear why anymore. She nodded. What replaced the need? Peace. Later, I found his contact in my phone. I stared at the name. I hit delete. Didn't hesitate. Maya walked in just as I put the phone down. You good? Deleted his number. Seriously? I don't need it. Want cake? God, yes. We ate in silence. The good kind. A week later, I got a DM. Not from him, from someone I barely knew in his circle. Just heard about you and Alex. You look amazing, by the way. I smiled. I didn't reply. You think he'll write again? Maya asked. If he does, I won't read it. Why? Because I finally stopped writing back in my head. The letter's ashes stayed in the sink drain for a while. I didn't clean them right away. They were a reminder. Not of him, but of me. Choosing not to carry his words anymore. I stayed too long in a house that burned me. I typed, then hit publish before I could talk myself out of it. Blog's up, I told Maya, stepping back from the laptop. She leaned over. That's the title? Yeah. Damn. It took 4 hours to go viral. Comments flooded in. This is my story, too. I needed this today. I'm packing my bags tonight. One message read, You just gave me the courage to walk out with my dignity. I stared at that one. The longest. Women are reading your pain and lighting their own way with it, Maya said quietly. They deserve better. So did you. The apartment was small. 2 windows, hardwood floors, 1 crooked cabinet door. But it was mine. I planted basil in the sill, watched it sprout slow and steady. Healing herb, Maya had said, handing me the seed packet. Symbolic, she grinned, obnoxiously. I went on a date, just coffee. He asked, So are you married? I was, I said, sipping slowly, and I survived it. He laughed. Well, that's honest. I don't do fake anymore. I updated my social bios. Writer, survivor, former wife, still growing. Camilla messaged me. I debated deleting it. But curiosity won. I didn't know, she wrote. If I had, I never would have, I replied simply. You did eventually. That's enough. Then I archived the chat and moved on. Dating again, huh? Maya teased as I tried on my 3rd outfit. Don't make it weird. I won't. Unless he sucks. You probably will. But you'll survive. I always do. Therapy sessions grew lighter. I don't cry when I say his name anymore, I told Dr. Ellis. That's not healing, she said. That's evolution. One reader messaged, You're brave. I messaged back, I was scared the entire time. I just didn't let it stop me. The basil bloomed. I bought a 2nd plant. You're glowing, Maya said one morning, watching me hum while making tea. No man in my life, I joked. Just plants and peace. I'll take it. Someone on a date asked, "So what do you want now?" I thought about it. Joy. Honesty. My own damn playlist. I passed by my old street once, didn't stop, didn't look, didn't feel a thing. "You ever think you'll love again?" Maya asked as we drank wine on the floor. "Maybe." "You scared?" "Not of love, just of losing myself again." I printed the blog title and framed it above my desk. I stayed too long in a house that burned me. Every time I saw it, I remembered. I didn't stay. I walked. And then I wrote, and then I rose. That's the woman I found, and she's never going back.